realized the microphone wasn't plugged in. I'm an idiot. I'm a YouTube idiot. Fuck, dude. What's going up, guys? What's going up, guys? It's Chini the Great. Welcome back to another Write With Me Wednesday. This is the third time I filmed this intro, because the first time my mom talked, second time the mic wasn't plugged in, but we're getting it. Alright, it's Sunday today. I'm working 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. overnight tonight, so I have a little bit of time to write right now. And I finally finished chapter 5, guys. That took so long. Chapter 5 took forever. It was like the never-ending chapter because I wrote a lot of it, and then I was like, alright, I have 1 or 2 pages left and it'll be finished. Then I wrote 2 pages, and I was like, okay, 1 or 2 pages and it'll be finished. Wrote another 2 pages, and it just kept going and going and going. And then it got to the point where I was so sick of writing it that I would just put it off and put it off and put it off. But I finally finished that up last night, and we're on chapter 6 now. So what I'm doing, I already explained all this, but the mic wasn't plugged in. What I'm doing now is reading chapter 6 of the first draft and seeing what I can keep and what's not good. And this is one of the chapters that I wrote later on in the draft, and what I did was write pretty much the whole story from one person's perspective and one chapter from a different character's perspective, because it seemed right to do that. And then I realized that obviously that one chapter kind of stuck out quite a bit because it wasn't like any of the other ones. So I went back and added chapters from this new character's perspective, and I alternated it. Every chapter, it was from one character to the second, then one character to the second, first, second. And I found that the chapters that I added in later from the second character's perspective are written a little bit better, in my opinion. I was a little bit more comfortable writing the novel. I was more comfortable with who the characters were and my own writing style, and it was just a little bit more developed than when I first started writing the novel. So this chapter, it seems pretty good right now. I'm just going to finish reading it up and see how much of it I can keep. So I am finding about half good and half bad in this chapter, in the first draft. I really like how it started. It's more insight to the events that led up to the moment of present time in the story. But then I kind of get off on this thing. What I really wanted to focus on, I could tell in the first draft, was character development and making dynamic characters, because I don't write a lot of really long stories, and so I'm not that experienced with developing characters over time and making sure that they grow and they change. And that's something that's pretty much essential in the novel, so that's kind of what I was focusing on. But I think it was a little bit heavy-handed, and now the character is completely different from who he was at the beginning of the novel, and I don't think it's for the best. I want him to change, but not so much. I guess I don't want him to change that much, but our perspective of him to change. So at first, this man is kind of presented as a hardened stone man and a really angry guy, a heartless man, kind of. Just a really stern guy. But as time goes on, more is revealed into his past life and what he's going through in the present. And he kind of reveals that he is a caring person and he's got people's best interests in mind. So I kind of want to focus on that more now, instead of him changing as a person, just our perspective changing. And I want to take a lot of this out, but I do think there's a lot of good stuff that I can keep. Alright, so there are a few things that I need to change. Like I said, I want to change kind of how I made the character. In this one, I said I was a little bit too heavy-handed with changing him. But also, this is kind of a really skippy chapter. There's a lot of flashbacks and stuff like that in this, and what I did that for is to compare the present time and the past time. So give you insight into the past and then connect that to the present time. But I think that's okay, but I think there's just so much in this chapter. I didn't really combine it all into one chapter. It doesn't flow smoothly, so I need to fix that and then just fix a few of the actions. But really, that's only about half the stuff I need to change, so I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm just going to get to writing this right now, and I'll catch up with you guys in a second. Okay, so I just finished that up. I kept more than I thought I would. I just had to add a scene to make things fit a little bit better and then take a few things out. That's all I did. I'm going to go back and read it probably tomorrow afternoon after I get some sleep, and then see if I need to add anything else in. But that's pretty much going to do it today. I'm going to keep this video going. Hopefully I won't be too tired tomorrow to film after I get back from work. I'm going to get back around 7 tomorrow morning, try to get some sleep, and then wake up again and do it all over. So yeah, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Alright, what's up guys? Today is Monday, so I filmed a little bit yesterday. That's what you just saw. So it's the next day, and again I have to work at 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. Right now it is 6:22 p.m. and I don't really want to write today, at least not on the novel. I might write something else later, but a lot of what I do is, as a writer and as a freelance editor, is learning. I'm really, not, I guess, I don't know, I'm kind of a rookie. So I'm kind of a rookie writer and definitely a rookie editor. So the only kind of writing, I've taken a lot of writing classes, so I do have a little bit more structure there and a little bit more experience in that regard. But as far as editing, that's completely, I've just jumped into it and I'm just learning as I go. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I thought I would share with you guys how I learn. And a lot of what I have learned is, like I said, from my writing classes. There's a lot of editing involved with that, so I've been able to learn that way. But I also look up a lot of online sources. So there are forums and I guess clubs and groups you can join, and it's like a critiquing group pretty much. So you get to edit each other's work and critique it, and that not only helps you learn how to critique better, but learn how to write better as well. So there's things like that I do, but I also wanted to share with you guys some YouTubers that I watch. So I follow a lot of YouTubers, and some of those people are editors and writers. And there are two main people I just want to talk about today that kind of help me a lot. One of them is someone who really describes how to write better, and she's a fiction writer, and she really shares a lot of how to develop your characters, how to set up certain scenes, how certain things to stay away from when writing fiction. So it's directly suited to what I'm writing, and I find it really helpful. The other person is an editor, so she shares a lot of her editing sources that she uses, which opened up a whole new door to me. I didn't even know these sources were available. And she shares how to edit, and also common mistakes that writers make that she's found through editing over the years. So that helps me as an editor and as a writer. So I'm just going to take you through a little bit, just real quick, not a whole lot, just to show you what these channels are and kind of what kind of videos they make. So one of these people is Molly Reeds, and she's the editor that I follow, and she has a segment called Editor Talks, and she describes a lot of good stuff about editing and about being an editor.
Last editor talk video, many of you wanted to know how I became an editor. You messaged me, you left me wonderful comments, and I decided to make a video about it. Before I jump into advice, before we get started, I just want to point out again that I do not work for a publishing company. I'm a freelance book editor who works primarily with independent authors.
So the next person is Jenna Morikai, and she's the fiction writer that kind of shares a lot of fiction writing tips. So some of her titles include, the titles of her videos include how to write a solid chapter, how to choose an editor, let's see what else, tips for successful book covers. So that's really interesting. One time I went to a really, I don't want to say professional, but a really in-depth kind of hardcore critique from professional writers, and I got critiqued from this local writer, and one thing that she kind of explained to the group that we were in is book covers and what makes a good book cover, what doesn't, and that's something I never even thought about before. But honestly, people do judge books by their covers, So it really brought in a good point and kind of exposed the angle of marketing your books, not just writing them, but marketing them. And some things that she shared with us about covers is like your imagery. You don't want something too graphic that's gonna turn people away. If you're putting a person on the cover, then choosing the right kind of person is really important. So have an idea of your audience in mind. She did explain that if you have a female on the cover or a strong female lead in your book in general, that tends to only draw in a female audience. If you have a male character as the lead or a male on the cover, that tends to draw in more males. And she said that's better to get a bigger audience because women and females tend to read anyway. Like, they read more than boys. So if they pick up a novel with a male lead, they're going to want to read it anyway. Whereas if a male picked up a book with a female lead, that will deter them from reading it. So to gain a bigger audience, it's a better idea. Not necessarily, but in general, it's a better idea to write from a male's perspective or have the main character as a male. So then you get both genders. Also, she brought up the fact that what you put on your cover really kind of stands alone as a message. So she said on one of her novels, I actually might have the book here, I might show it to you. She just purposefully chose a book cover with a very strong, gruff African American man on the cover. And she said her editor tried to persuade her not to do that because having an African American on the cover will deter people from reading it. And the author that was critiquing me said she purposefully wanted it on there to prove a message, to prove a point. And I'll show you guys the book now if I have it. Hold on 1 minute. So the book that she did that was Clementine, and the woman I'm speaking about is Sherry Priest. She's a Nashville local writer, and she's definitely got a lot of titles under her belt, but this is the cover that she put this character on that really made a statement. Alright guys, but that's pretty much going to do it for me filming today. I'm going to continue this video out tomorrow and then probably wrap it up tomorrow. But all I'm going to do for the rest of the night until I go to work is just watch some of these videos and try to learn as much as I can. Right now I'm leaning towards the more editing side, so I'm trying to learn more about editing. And then, so I'll probably watch the Molly Reads videos. So I'm going to just watch some of those, and I might read a little bit tonight too, because reading as a writer is pretty much essential, and you just need to keep filling your mind with different styles of writing and different perspectives and different stories and different ideas and things like that. So that's all I'm going to do tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is Tuesday today. I was going to film a little bit today in the video, but I'm really just not feeling well at all. And I think all I'm going to do is go through chapter 6 that I wrote earlier on in this video and just go give it a look and edit it and add some stuff in if I need to or fix it up a little bit. But that's pretty much all I'm going to do today, and I have to work again tonight, so just trying to rest up before I go to work. But I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do for this video. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, guys. And let me know what you guys are doing in the comments below. Yeah, I really like, I don't know, I just love getting comments, and I love interacting with people that watch my videos. It's crazy to me that lately I've just been getting a lot of support, and that's insane to me. So thank you for that. But yeah, leave a comment below and I'll reply to all of them. So stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay happy. See you guys.